And when it was demanded of the Pharisees when the kingdom of God should come, he answered them and said, The kingdom of God cometh not with observation, neither shall they say, Lo here, or Lo there, but behold, the kingdom of God is within you. Isaiah 32. Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment.
Because, amen, we angels too. We're just wrapped in this flesh, but we have that angelic spirit within us, man. The difference between an angel and us, they don't have the flesh. They're already perfected, okay? They're spirits of fire. That spirit is within these earthen vessels that we hold right now, okay? And we're fighting to get back in that state which we had from before, that glory which we had from before. Only difference is we're going to rule in planet Earth in new flesh. All right, so we're going to have those angelic spirits that we have right now in newer, sinless flesh. All right, we're going to be perfected as our Lord and Savior Yahushua is perfected. And he's going to rule in the planet Earth with 104,000 ruling under him, all being perfected in perfect flesh with the angelic spirits, with angelic power. Okay?
But now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises. For if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. For finding fault with them, he said, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel, and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind, and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers, and peace and blessing salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and this sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to a hopeful lake, the believers or listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua. All right, and what I want to get into today, maybe this would be a start of a ongoing series dealing with the damage done by Hollywood. Okay, because Hollywood, all right, is one of the major tools used by the devils, and what you're going to see are controlled by the elite, okay, Amalek, all right, to wage spiritual warfare on the earth, okay, and these cast spells and enchantments. You go to Hollywood, that's the wood used by witches in the ancient times to cast spell. So this whole thing of Hollywood pretty much as the Eliashawama goes into a Babylonian church, all right, and it's full of rituals, okay, it's full of Satanism, and it's full of enchantments. It's been used to spread falsehoods, to establish, cultural norms, okay, of anti-Messiah, okay. It was used to spread, great deception. As the scriptures say, how he will go forth to deceive, all right, the nations in the four quarters of the earth, all right. And we'll just get into these things. And I got a video I want to play. Lord will they let it play. It's going to show, it's about a 7-minute video, but it's pretty quick and informative to the point, I believe. And if a brother could get Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, I believe those last 2 verses, and I'll get a few precepts here. Okay. Let's start this in Revelation, which this been coming out a lot lately, but this devil does things real times, we're going to apply the precept and prophecy that applies. Okay. Now, this is Revelation 20:7. Okay. And 8. Now you read, all right, at the beginning of these precepts, it says Satan freed and doomed. Okay, we know Satan, all right, Shaitan, which goes as the adversary, when you go into the word in the Hebrew, all right, and there's a nation of people, just as we represent, Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai and righteousness in the earth. Well, Esau Edom represents, all right, the adversary Shaitan. Okay, he represents, all right, that spirit in the earth. Okay, and that's why scripture speak about how his working, is after Satan. And you go into the word working in the Greek is energia. Okay, in 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. Okay, it's energia, which is energy. Okay, so it says Revelation 20:7. It says, and when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. Okay, because as Esau fell, during the time what they call the Dark Ages. Okay, the holy, Roman Empire, which was ruled by Jake. Jake was the czars. Okay, you had the Moors, which was Jakes that was into Islam. Okay, ruling, in Spain, out of Granada. Okay, so you had Jake, set up in power, with Jake, was going off. Okay, but ultimately Esau was removed from power, and it was like he was in a prison. Okay, to the point that he couldn't, loose himself to come back into power. The Lord had to, break that seal. Okay, and allow the devil to come back into power and have influence in the earth. But he was pushed, pretty much off to the side, there in Georgia, Russia, Caucasus Mountains, in that region. Okay, where you have, the time of the Khazars. Okay, so the devil, was pretty much, pushed to the side. All right, but then he was loosed. Okay, to come back into power. And one of the main things, that he would do, all right, when he would come back into power, when you read verse 8, and shall go out and deceive the nations which are in the 4 quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is the sand of the sea, which there's Russia. Okay, and it shows you pretty, because like I said, Satan freed and doomed. So it goes to the devil, coming back into power, but it also goes into his doom, which is going to be this Third World War. All right, which you see Russia, is at the forefront, okay, of the nations, that's against this beast system. Although they're Edomites as well, they're a tool, their nation is a tool being used by Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, all right, to dismantle, all right, this beast system, all right, through war. Okay. And Russia is gathering, troops by the thousands as we speak. The scriptures say the number of whom is the sand of the sea. All right. Now, let's get that word deceive. See, does it give us some? All right. So you get this word deceive. Okay. And Hollywood was a major, platform and tool, that this devil, used for his deception. Hollywood came into play. You seen, just a fast forward. You just seen, degenerate culture just, take off. When Hollywood, came on the scene. All right, so that word in the Greek, okay,
Strong's G 4105 planao.
planao, okay. So you go into the word in the Greek. All right, planao, okay. All right, it says to cause, to stray, to lead astray, to lead aside from the right way, to go astray, to wander, to roam about. And through Hollywood, this man has caused the masses, to be led astray. It says to be led aside from the path of virtue, to go astray to sin. Okay, and through Hollywood, all right, this man, all right, has led a lot of people into error, man, and mainly, all right, the tribes. Okay, because Lord willing, I can do a video tomorrow. I'll probably do a pre-record, going into how, he just, destroyed, the tribes, through Hollywood. Okay, the things that he glorified. Okay, well, I say that's a whole nother, lesson. All right, but ultimately it says to sever, which means to separate or fall away from the truth. Okay, so this man's rulership, okay, will bring about, as the scriptures say, that gross darkness. Okay, that gross darkness, man, my brother. I'll get it real quick. It's the book of Isaiah. Is it 60? All right, Isaiah 60:2, it said, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth. All right, and we just read prophecy how he will go through the four quarters of the earth spreading deception. Okay, and gross darkness the people, but the Lord shall arise upon thee, which is the elect, the church. Okay, that's why the church is likened to a candle, placed on the hill. Okay, in the midst of darkness, man. And this is why we stand out. Okay, his glory shall be seen upon thee. And what is the Lord's glory now? Is the truth going forth, man. Okay, and devouring the darkness, man. Okay, let's see what this word darkness gives us in the Hebrew. All right, so just that word darkness, which is all right, shock. All right, look like shock. Okay, darkness, obscurity. Okay, and obscurity, goes into confusion. Okay, and this man has heaped up, okay, a lot of confusion. Okay, you go into the Strong's. Okay, it says figuratively misery, okay, destruction, death, ignorance, and this man has made death, a culture. This man's confusion has led to the misery, the masses, self-destruction, sorrow, okay, wickedness. Okay, and this is the standard of the earth. Depression is standard, anxiety is standard. Okay, all these things are standard, man. Okay, the scripture speak about the earth languishing. Okay, and I'll say Hollywood, played a major factor in that, man. Okay, so let's get the video. I say, Lord will, let us play it out. You know how y'all uncle be sometime, man. He won't let us be great, man. Okay, so I'm gonna play this, and it goes into what we see today, and then we can also see how it's feeling, because he's not able to pull it off like he used to. He's not able to pull off enchantments like he used to, man, because this truth, is shedding light, and it has a spirit of exposure in the earth, man. All truth is a spinoff. All these truthers and alternative news, they're nothing but a spinoff of this gospel going forth. All right, this marvelous light of the knowledge of Yahweh Shem Al Shai going forth, man. So I'm gonna play this. Lord will, I say let it play. But I think it's like 7 minutes. So I'm trying to go ahead and let it play, and then we'll, get some more precepts. All right, on the back end.
Speak up for Palestine, and those few are made to pay the Only a handful of American movie stars speak up for Palestine, and those few are made to pay the price for their public sport. Why is it so important for the movie industry to silence those voices? Israeli historian Giora Goodman says,
And I was surprised again and again to find just how much effort and care and thought had been put in by Israeli government officials, by Israeli IDF officers into bringing over to Israel's cause what is the global entertainment capital.
So, Hollywood matters to Israel because it is influential. But why does Israel matter to Hollywood? It is difficult to ask that question, let alone answer it, without attracting charges of anti-Semitism.
Mr. Cartman, you are on dangerous freaking ground here, buddy.
I'm sorry, why is it so offensive to say who runs Hollywood? People not like Hollywood. Hollywood's cute. The Jews should be honored to be in charge of it.
It is true that widespread anti-Semitism conspiracy theories about Jews running Hollywood exist and fuel a dangerous mentality, but making the whole topic taboo to talk about is not the answer. Israeli historian Giora Goodman and British historian Tony Shaw co-authored a book called Israel and Hollywood. The authors told the University of Southern California that Hollywood bosses such as Barney Balaban in the 1950s, Arthur Krim in the 1960s, and Haim Saban in the 21st century have also sought to use their political influence in the White House and with U.S. decision makers to promote the goals of Israeli diplomacy in war and peace. It is undeniable that Hollywood has a very real influence on U.S.-Israel relations, and that influence is linked to Hollywood's Jewish roots.
For a people so small in number, our impact is staggering.
Dustin Hoffman to Rain Man.
Dozens of Emmy and Golden Globe winners, and almost 40% of Oscar-winning directors are members of the tribe.
That is Israel's very own Genesis Prize Foundation. It is a widely known fact that
modern America first saw light on a Hollywood screen. It was largely the product of 6 movie studios established in the 1920s and run for over 30 years by a group of Jewish immigrants. They had strikingly similar backgrounds.
these 5 or 6 Jewish immigrants ended up building all the first major studios that created Hollywood.
Yeah, so you see Columbia, okay, MGM, okay, Warner Brothers, all right, I think it was one more, Universal, okay, all ran and owned by small hats, all right, so let's say play.
Had strikingly similar backgrounds.
These 5 or 6 Jewish immigrants ended up building all the first major studios that created Hollywood from scratch.
All 20th Century Fox, all right, and Paramount, okay, all ran by small heads, man. Okay, so these devils, all right, play a major part in American influence, Amalek, okay, in the world influence, because America, has pretty much been, the main stage of the earth. It pretty much has been the movie screen of the earth is America, man. Okay? So just let it play.
Of these men who founded Hollywood were born within a 500-mile radius of one another. And all of them wound up roughly within 15 miles of one another in Los Angeles.
The influence Hollywood and its movie stars had in the U.S. would soon be utilized to garner support from American Jews and Gentiles alike for the Zionist project.
This kind of movie going was religious because it had to do with worship. It had to do with the screen being larger than you were, and you being in awe of what you were looking at.
The Jewish production studio heads organized fundraisers with their movie stars and wealthy influential connections and collected tens of millions of dollars for a massive emigration of Jews to Palestine under the British mandate. One of these men, Barney Balaban, head of Paramount Pictures from the 1930s to the 60s, would even help found the most influential Israeli lobby group in America, AIPAC. But money and political connections were only secondary to their main effort, which was to tell a romanticized story about the creation of Israel. The first feature-length Zionist film made by Hollywood was secretly funded in large part by the controversial Jewish National Fund. JNF, established in 1901, is the financial arm of the Zionist organization. The film did not do well, but the partnership between Israel and Hollywood was not going to fizzle out that easily. They made film after film until they hit the jackpot with the 1960 movie Exodus. Exodus was based on a racist novel by the same name that the Israeli Foreign Minister Golda Meir at the time said was more influential than 60 years of Zionist and Israeli propaganda. As a film, Exodus went even further than the book in totally erasing the Nakba, the massive ethnic cleansing and displacement of 750,000 Palestinians in 1948. The Jewish hero of the story, Ben Canaan, begs the Arabs to stay in their homes and become an equal part of the state, but they refuse and leave. After the 1960s, Hollywood moved on from completely ignoring the Palestinians to portraying Arabs and Muslims as irrational, evil terrorists who often had no real motivation beyond
they hate our freedoms.
Arab enemies were dehumanized, while telling the story of Jewish victims of the Holocaust helped melt American hearts. A 1978 TV miniseries called Holocaust, featuring Meryl Streep, was watched by nearly 100 million Americans. It told the story of the Holocaust in 4 episodes over 9.5 hours and ended with Jewish orphans being smuggled into Palestine illegally. It was not until Israel's invasion of Lebanon in 1982, when Israel killed thousands of civilians, that tides started turning and public opinion that Israel was the underdog started to change in the US.
In the 1980s, with the first Lebanon War, and then the first Intifada, and the moral doubts about Israel's use of force and the direction of its government, and that is the younger liberals, they are more ambivalent about Israel, while the old generation, such as Kirk Douglas, would support Israel.
According to a 2004 report by the American Jewish Committee, a younger Netanyahu met with Hollywood executives in 2001 and challenged them to do something about Israel's image problem. Netanyahu has long enjoyed close relations with his buddies in Hollywood. One of the most shocking Hollywood stories is that of his pal, producer Arnon Milchan. Milchan is behind massively successful commercial films like Pretty Woman, Fight Club, 12 Years a Slave, Little Woman, and many more. During his time as an Israeli spy and arms dealer, one of Milchan's jobs was to acquire uranium from South Africa for Israel's nuclear program, and in exchange, he ran this massive pro-apartheid campaign in Hollywood on behalf of South Africa. In the end, one of the most important things Hollywood did to rally American support for Israel was to tell the story of the Holocaust and connect it to the establishment of Israel, while completely disregarding and erasing the suffering and ethnic cleansing of Palestinians. Countless films, TV shows, and fictional characters work to make often white-looking Israeli heroes relatable to white people in the US, and to paint Muslims and Arabs as the violent and savage enemy of the unified, peace-loving Judeo-Christian people. What do you think? Do Hollywood films and celebrities still hold influence over what people think of Israel and Palestine?
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting, and it just shows how, Hollywood, like I said, is a major tool, all right, used by these devils, to spread, enchantments, okay, and to spread, all right, false narratives, okay, and to paint, who they want as the victim and paint who they want as the savage, terrorist, okay, and it has nothing to do with reality, man. And that controls, the mindset of the masses. All right, 100 million people, watching that documentary. All right, about the small hats, and that situation they had. Okay, and probably at that time there was, probably almost half, the population of America at that time. Okay. So Hollywood has a lot of sway on the minds, okay? And it begins with Amalek, and this is why the Lord, all right, when you read in the scriptures, this is why we're told this, all right, in the book of Ephesians, all right, chapter 6, all right, verse verse 12. It said, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world." Okay, so that darkness is being spread. Well, who's the rulers of these darkness, man? Esau, Edom. All right, he's the rulers of darkness of this age. Okay, and it's with Amalek, the top. All right, your average Edomite, he just knows that he has certain little perks and privileges in this society. Okay, and he just has this, superiority complex because all his people are in positions of authority and power. Okay, history tells him that he's the hero of the earth. Okay, his history, all right, the history of this age, the propaganda of this age. All right, but the true, all right, influence, all right, is coming from up top, from these elites. All right, Amalek, small hats. Okay, it says against spiritual wickedness in high places. Okay, so this wickedness is coming from the top. This spiritual wickedness that we see, all right, this man, has made the norm. All right, in this society is coming from up top. Joe Sixpack, he's not in on these meetings. He doesn't understand, all right, the workings, all right, of these top elites and how, they're putting enchantments on the masses, man. Okay, and it goes back to the garden. Okay, because when you go into Genesis, all right, dealing with the serpent, all right, it wasn't speaking of actual snake. Okay, that had legs. Okay, nigga, niggas just walking around. Okay, talking English. Rolled up on Eve. Nah, man, this was a man. This is representative of a man. Okay, and the seed of the wicked. Back then. You see, and he came with subtlety to Eve. All right, so you have to understand. Adam, all right, would have had to be in rulership. That's why he had the authority to name the animals. Okay, you don't just go around naming the animals. You just, all right, average person in the earth. No, he had to be in a position of authority. And the Lord said that he gave Adam, to keep the garden. Okay, and that word keep, shamar, all right, pretty much to watch over, So Adam was given an authority. That's why he was given the spirit, that breath, okay, to rule. Okay, because the only way, we fail, it's scripture speaks about Adam falling. Well, the only way you can fall if you're exalted. You see, there's the only way you can fall. All right, and Eve, being his wife, okay, pretty much got seduced, all right, by the serpent, this man. Okay, and what did he bring to it? So let's get Genesis 3:1. It says, "Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord power had made. And he said unto the woman, yeah, have God said you shall not eat of every tree of the garden." So when you go here, all right, which we always get, all right, you go into Genesis 3, all right. And 1, you get the word serpent, okay, which is nakash, all right. But when you get that the root word, all right, you get the root word, nakash, all right. It says what? To practice divination, divine, all right, to observe signs, learn by experience, diligently observe, practice fortune teller, all right, take as an omen, to practice divination, to observe signs and omens, okay. It says a whisperer, okay, magic spell, enchantment, enchanter, prognosticate, to prognosticate, okay. So this is what he brought to Eve, right? And this devil, he made it seem as if it was better than righteousness, man. Because one thing, you watch these movies, they make it, they know how to glorify wickedness as if it's, it's more fun, it's more liberating, just like he made Eve, made it seem like Eve was being restrained. Okay, well, in his movie, he knows how to make it seem as if, you're being restrained by tradition. Let's break out of tradition and do it this way. Okay, holding women wearing pants. Hollywood had a major part in that, man. Okay, women smoking cigarettes. Okay, fighting and scratching to leave the house and join the workforce. Hollywood played a major factor in that, man. Okay, Hollywood did a lot of damage, and they played a major factor with the big lie. All right, that these people, are the chosen people, man. Okay, so I think a brother got there for me. Let's go here to Second Thessalonians, not Second Thessalonians. The Wisdom of Solomon. Yep, this the brother Yaquab, the hopeful elect 3. This Wisdom of Solomon 2:23 said, "For the Most High created man to be immortal, and made him to be the image of his own eternity." Man, all right, this was before the fall. All right, Adam was given that breath, that spirit. Okay, and the rulership. And he was meant to be immortal, following that wisdom. Okay, that was given from on high. All right, but what happened? As we read in Genesis 3, it said, "Nevertheless, through envy of the devil," okay, the deceiver, "came death into the world, and they that do hold on his side do find it," man. So the serpent brought death into the world. All right, he brought death to the lineage of the sons of God. Okay, who was made to be immortal in the image, all right, of the Heavenly Father. Okay, through righteousness, man. I think the brother, what's that scripture you always get? But I think there's Wisdom Solomon, or wisdom is immortality, basically. I think that's in Sirach or Wisdom of Solomon. I don't know if you're at work or not, but I know you usually get one. But just going back to the point, the wisdom that we're, learning is actually leading to immortality, man. Okay? Like we're actually learning how to be immortal in righteousness, man. But Esau, Edom, he's all about corrupting it and defiling it, and he wants death to reign in the earth, man. Okay? I was saying Hollywood plays a major factor in that, man. Yep, come the water, brother. Yeah, I know this one of your go-tos, brother. This the brother Beyond Yashala, Wisdom Solomon 1:15. "For righteousness is immortal." Okay, and what was given to Adam was their right way. Okay, and righteousness puts us in the image, the likeness of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Okay, but the serpent, through envy of the devil, came death when he brought that witchcraft, that alternate way unto Eve, and Eve eventually brought it to Adam, and you had that fall. Okay, and the fall of this society, like I say, Hollywood, sped up degeneracy in a whole nother way. Okay, to the point to what we see now. I say it did a lot of damage. Okay, but this is going to be this man's ruin. All right, let's get this. I say we'll end it here. I'll make it too long. I say just hit those points. The Lord will. I want to go another way with it on another lesson. Amaratazah. All right, this is the book of Isaiah 47 and 12. All right, because the Lord is going to dismantle this man's empire. And that's why we see his enchantments are getting weak. Okay, because there's nothing Hollywood can do, to make people, all right, look at those small hats as just, these lovable, innocent, okay, people, man. Okay, truth, all right, is drowning out the lies, man. Okay, Isaiah 47 and 12 says, "Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth." Now, this speaking of Babylon, okay, which was founded on witchcraft. But then even you go back to Esau, Edom, period. You go back to the garden, because we understand the spirit that was in the serpent was the same spirit that was in Cain, all right, and that was in Esau, and that became a nation, all right, of people, the Edomites. Okay, so from his beginning, he has always dabbled and dabbled in witchcraft and enchantments, man. Okay, that was always his thing. Okay, so now the Lord is saying, look, stand with thine enchantments wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. Okay, it said, if so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. You know, so the Lord is pretty much mocking this devil, like, look, if you can, you know, get those enchantments to work, you might be on to something, man. But he's making mockery of him, man, because he knows, all right, that he's finna pull back that left hand, all right, the access that the devil has to that left hand, he's finna pull that back, all right, and dismantle everything this man has set up. They will build, but I will throw it down. Okay, verse 13 says, thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Yeah, because he can't get his enchantments off like he used to, man. And that's a major part of his rulership is deception. That's the foundation of rulership. You know, of his rulership is deception, man. Okay, it says, let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators, all these things mentioned, okay, in Genesis, the 3rd chapter. When you go into the definition of serpent, these are all right, the things that I mentioned, man. Prognosticators, you know, stargazers, diviners, enchanters. Okay, so let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from the things that shall come upon thee, which is the Lord's judgment, man. Okay, he's not going to be able to enchant his way out of the Lord's judgment, man. Okay, he's going to be punished. The serpent is finally going to be punished. Matter of fact, we're going to have to get that. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm it, nor fire to sit before it, man. So these devils, okay, they finna feel the wrath of the Lord. And this war, all right, is going to obliterate this man's rulership, man. Okay, between the chariots and the nukes, this man's rulership is going to be obliterated. It said, thus shall they be unto thee, with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter. None shall save thee. Okay, so this devil is at the point, all right, his witchcraft has led him to his own destruction, man. Okay, he was able to prosper, you know, with it in a time, you know, but now we're seeing that the Lord is stripping this man, all right, and the strength of his enchantments, you know, is waning. Okay, Revelation 12:7 saying there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, all right. So this serpent, you know, the full out dragon now. Okay, it grew into the, you know, the dominant, okay, beast of the earth. Okay, these Edomites, man, and the dragon fought with his angels. So this is the war, okay, between the spiritual realm led by Yahushua. All right, Archangel Michael Allah is going to be, you know, on deck. All right, Michael Allah, who is like the Most High. Okay, and prevail not. They're going to lose. You see, and this is what these devils are trying to rewrite. Okay, is their overthrow that's in the scriptures, man. Okay, it says, and prevail not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, and in heaven is speaking of rulership. Okay, because this man has used enchantments, all right, to establish his rulership, man. Okay, but now their position, okay, of rulership is going to be stripped from him, man. It's going to be cast down to the earth. Okay, which is a great demotion. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent. You know, why is it speaking about that old serpent? You see, it's that same spirit. All right, that old serpent called the devil, okay, the deceiver, and Satan, which deceived the whole world. All right, as we read in Revelation 20:7, he went forth. All right, Satan was loose to go deceive. Okay, the four quarters of the earth. All right, and now we'll come to the time where the deception is going to be stopped. It says he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Okay, which is the military. Okay, so this is where we at. You know, the old serpent, all right, is getting ready to be defeated, you know, once and for all. Okay, but we're just going into the damage, you know, done by Hollywood, which has warped, the minds of the people. You know, I say, Lord, we'll do some more, you know, dealing with the damage of Hollywood. Okay, and just, you know, and just go into it. You know, so you brothers, you know, y'all see anything, feel free to leave it on the comment board, any videos, or, you know, anything, you know, send it this way, you know, and we'll get into it. But that was the point, you know, Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters, edify once again, give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers, and peace and blessing salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.